Alright, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the hopeful brethren out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright. Ba'ashim Makal Kodash and brothers doing this work and labor and not wavering. To the 1/3 as well. I'm gonna be woken up in these last days. Okay. Shalom to you, brothers. And this lesson is gonna be over how Europe is going to ditch the dollar, the U.S. dollars. Okay, this article is from Europe, or Slovakia, RT.com. Okay, the Europeans over there, those different countries over there, they deal with what they did with the pound. Okay, in Europe, like United Kingdom, the United Kingdom, UK, they're the mother of the United States. They that's basically when you think about in Europe, when you think of United States for real is, United Kingdom, because they branched off and came over to North America. Okay, but though they're still Edomites in Europe. And this March 16th, it says Europe to ditch U.S. dollar in payments for Iranian oil, because Iranian oil is what's popping. Okay, that's the big trade right now. That's the big deal right now. And they got the dollar, burning up because the dollar is not backed by anything. Okay, the elite bankers, the bankers set up this system, and they took the gold away. I mean, that was back from the dollar, so now it's worthless. And these different the Edomites in these different countries, they see that, and they're trying to get out while they can, because Iran is booming right now with the oil. Okay, that's how they're doing their trading and their payments. Okay, so the European Union, the EU, the European Union is planning to switch payments to the euro for its oil purchases from Iran, eliminating U.S. dollar transactions. So, because Iran don't deal with the U.S. money no more. Okay, they're enemies. Israel and Iran are enemies. Israel, I would say the state of Israel is allies with America. They're buddy. It's lucky they're buddy. Okay. This is a diplomatic source told. So they're eliminating the dollar. This is a diplomatic source told RIA Novosti. Brussels has been at odds with Washington over the U.S. withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal, which was reached during the administration of Barack Obama. President Donald Trump has pledged to reimpose sanctions against the Islamic Republic. And the EU is planning on breaking off. Okay, different nations in the EU are going to break off. The United Kingdom being Great Britain being one of them. They don't want to be in the EU no more. It says, I'm privy to the information that the EU is going to shift from dollar to euro to pay for crude from Iran, the source told the agency. Earlier this week, the EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini said that the foreign ministers of the UK, France, Germany, and Iran had agreed to work out practical solutions in response to Washington's move in the next few weeks. The bloc is reportedly planning to maintain and deepen economic ties with Iran, including the area of oil and gas supplies. This is the book of Revelation 18:3. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Because United States, they with their wine, it goes, the wine of the wrath of her fornication goes talks about the philosophies and the ways and the ideologies and the being of this so-called white man, chiefly here in America, Donald Trump. Okay, which he's being his strings getting pulled. Okay, but hey, all the nations is drunk of that. Okay, capitalism. Okay, big fish eat little fish. You know, homosexuality is one. That's the one of fornication. Okay, the dollar bill. You know, and America's getting rich. That's how they've gotten rich, man. And then they always fuck over their own enemies. First they give them some shitty water. They tell them it's good, you know. But then these nations woken up that the water is, hey, shit is giving them cancer, man, so to speak, you know. And they wax rich to the abundance of her delicacies, because people have more than they need here in America, trickling down. Okay, these other nations don't want to have nothing to do with the so-called white man, chiefly here in America, man, in his system, period. Okay? I see that it's detrimental to Earth. Okay? I'm going to jump about this, talking about the Iran nuclear deal. Because they're... Okay, I'm going to read this. It says, Mogherini stressed that the sides should jointly work on the lifting of sanctions as an integral part of the historic nuclear deal. We're not naive and know it will be difficult for all sides. The Iran nuclear deal, known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, was sealed 3 years ago in Vienna between Tehran and the P5-1. China, France, UK, US, plus Germany. The agreement saw decades-long international sanctions lifted in exchange for Iran curbing its controversial nuclear program. On January 16th, the parties to the deal announced the beginning of its implementation. The lifting of international sanctions gave Iran access to the world's markets for the first time in nearly 4 decades. Since then, Tehran has managed to significantly increase its exports of crude. It says we are prepared for all scenarios. U.S. leaving nuclear deal won't hurt Iranians. However, oil is pegged to the U.S. dollar on international markets, making it difficult for Iran's partners to make payments for crude and for Tehran to receive them, with the dollar playing the leading role on international financial markets. Reimposing sanctions would mean cutting Iran off from the global financial system. EU and Iran is a picture of Iran and EU and Iran to keep nuclear deal in place, right? So they're down with Iran. Okay, they're making ties with Iran, and America's not making ties with Iran, man. America's breaking ties with Iran. Israel and Iran got beef. The state of Israel and Iran got beef, man. You know, they see who are trying to come. They're enemies, you know, and they're trying to, so-called Palestinians and Jewish people, they got their enemies, man. And, you know, it's going to lead to war. And they're trying to be at the top at simultaneously. So at the same time, dozens of contracts signed between European businesses and the Islamic Republic could be at risk of cancellation in Brussels. If Brussels obeys Washington's sanctions, this would damage Iran's economy, and European firms will lose a huge market in the Middle East. Switching to alternative settlement currencies allows both sides to continue trading despite U.S. sanctions. Here's the book of Job 5:25 and Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So the world who you call Jesus is going to interrupt the enterprise of these so-called white people, man. The elite bankers, the men who rule this society, have all the wealth, the so-called white man. The who you call Jesus and God, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, he's gonna disappoint the devices of their crafty, the dollar bill, RFID microchip, man. All right, he's gonna disappoint them, man. This decadent society that they're living in, so he cannot perform their enterprise. Because Esau think he has it all right now. He don't really have it all together. He don't have it. He think he do. He gonna fill his belly. He gonna try to fill his belly, and then the Lord gonna take him down, like the scriptures say. His enterprise, he gonna try to fulfill the New World Order, so Illuminati, through the Illuminati, continue homosexuality and lesbianism, capitalism, all sorts of wickedness and evil, but the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, is gonna bring that to an end, man, very soon, Lord willing. Okay. With that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, who rule well, and shalom to hopeful elect. Shalom.